Happy Trilobite. I missed you guys. It's been a crazy week. I thought I'd do something a little different this time than what I normally do. I have some declutter predictions for you. Because people are going to start decluttering for like their Vlogmas, whatnot, and do like their yearly rankings. And in my mind, I have figured out which ones I think are going to be like in the bottom, and I think I figured out what people are going to declutter. And obviously, this could be completely wrong, and if you disagree with me, that's totally fine. I think it's, yeah. I think the first thing people are going to want to declutter are the Bridgerton palettes, because I got mine in the mail at like the very end of January, and it was frozen solid. And I tried to swatch one shade in February. Like, it was my very first YouTube video. Wow, that's been a while. Okay. And it was frozen solid. I let it sit out and thaw. It never recovered chemically. It just broke down at that point. So I just went through the ingredients on like the one special shade, and then I was like, whatever. Like, I just mailed it back because I was like, I spent how much money on this frozen block? Like, that, no. And plus, it was full of carmine, and I think one of them was even like glass bubbles or something nuts like that. And I was like, no, 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 no. So I sent mine back, luckily, so I wasn't set back anything. I got a full refund. Like, they were really good about that, like sending everything back. Their customer service was actually really great. So I had a great experience with sending it back. So that worked out really well. But I sent mine back. But I think people really want to declutter it, but they won't because they spent so much money. And I think something else people are going to declutter is a lot of elf. I think like those Duncan things, like those quads or whatnot, those were adorable. They were gimmicky, but from the general consensus was that the quality was just not there. And I think those little things are going to be decluttered this year. I also think the Cookies and Dream Elf palette is probably going to get decluttered as well. I think I really do like Glam Light, but those Hershey Kiss eyeshadow palettes are bulky. They smelled weird. I got two of them. Mine smelled weird. They did not swatch very well. The quality was not like the Glam Light formula that we know and love. The packaging was really hard to store. They're just, no, like, I already got rid of mine. They have been passed on to nieces and nephews to dismantle. But I couldn't handle it. Like, it just annoyed me that the space and the shape and I mean, if the quality was like spectacular, I would have overlooked that, but it was not. So, yeah, I think those are definitely going to be going too. I think there's going to be, obviously, ColourPop. The ColourPop has so many collections. Like, how do you not declutter ColourPop? Like, at some juncture, it's going to happen. I know which ones I would declutter if I owned all of them, but I don't own all of them because, one, I don't need them, and two, I don't need them. So there's that. I think a lot of people are also going to be decluttering a lot of like rainbow palettes. There were so many rainbow palettes this year, and I think if you own one, like, or like one like bold color and then like one pastel one, I think you're like set for the next like 20 years. And this year, so many like rainbow palettes came out. I think the Morphe and Lucky Charms one, I think, unless you're really into cereal, I think that one's probably going to be decluttered. There are several other rainbow palettes that I have up like on the list. That I think a lot of rainbow palettes are going to be taken out in the declutters this year. I think a lot of Revolution collections are going to be also decluttered. Somewhat and Wild ones are going to be decluttered. Especially like when you look at like the Jurassic Park palette wasn't that spectacular. I got it because I just like dinosaurs and fossils, obviously, but it's big, it's bulky, and it's really flippin' heavy, and that annoys me. And then when you look at the Game of Thrones palette, that thing is just huge, and the map doesn't even line up, which is just a disaster. The packaging is just a disaster. So it's more of like the shape and they're just hard to store. I think people will also, I didn't actually buy any of these. The BH Cosmetics, like those little location quads that we were all like, oh, they're finally coming back with the location ones. And then I watched a few videos. I'm like, oh, those look dastardly horrible. And everyone that made videos on them was not happy with them. So I'm pretty sure those are going to go as well. I could definitely see those being decluttered. I could definitely see the Urban Decay, like She-Hulk and Wild Greens palette. There was so much hype around the Wild Greens palette. I thought about buying it, and then I was like, what am I doing? And I did not end up getting it. So yeah, I really think the people who got like these PR packages, when you see like the big declutters at the end of the year, I think the Urban Decay, She-Hulk, and Wild Greens are going to be gone from those. I also predict the Max Stranger Things collection, like those eyeshadow palettes, are probably going to be decluttered. I also think that those Huda Beauty, you know, those color block things, I'll put a picture up those. I heard like the reviews on those were not the greatest either. I'm pretty sure those are going to be gone. There was a Lancome Emily in Paris collection, but that just looks kind of strange, and I didn't really see hardly any reviews on it at all. Like nobody was really talking about it. The was it like the Kylie Cosmetics, that olive palette thing that just looks strange? I think no one's really done anything with that. I don't even know if it's actually available yet. It just looks weird, and it's a strange shape, and it's just, no. I could definitely see that being decluttered. I really think the Jacqueline Strawberry palette, like, and then the one that I think she put out with her mom, I thought both of those palettes were kind of like meh, which is why you're not seeing pictures of mine, because I don't own any of these. Those Essence location palettes, like the Rome one, and like there was like a Paris one or something. Those, I heard those, the quality was dastardly on those as well. I think those are going to get decluttered. I also think the Too Faced Butterfly palette, I think there was a few Too Faced palettes that if you own 3 of them, then you don't really need all 14, and they're very redundant. I think those are going to be decluttered too. A lot of people, I think, are really going to start being like, these are so redundant. Why? So those are my declutter predictions for what people are going to declutter at the end of this year. I don't know if people make declutter prediction videos, but here we are. I really did like the Hocus Pocus palette this year. I think because this year's was so good, I think people might declutter the past 2 Hocus Pocus palettes. Anyway, those are my predictions. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're definitely getting rid of, what you're definitely keeping, and what you think is gonna go. And I will see you later. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a great week. Okay, bye.